Buenos dias from Costa Rica. One of the last times, probably, that you'll see me do a video from here. We're a week away from leaving, and I thought I'd fill you in a little bit on the coordination that it takes when you're moving to or from a different country. I'm not going to get into all the details, like the sale of the house and waiting and ensuring that the money gets in and stuff like that, right? But I'm talking about just the coordination for flights and rides and things like that. Because when we sold our house here, we sold the house and the vehicle at the same time to the same people. So we will be signing the deeds next week for both the house and the vehicle at the same time. So we're about a week away before we leave. But those of you who have traveled and had connecting flights, you know the risk. Just last month, I had a flight to Montreal. I went to visit my dad in Sherbrooke. And my flight was delayed here in San Jose Airport for 3 hours. And I missed my connection flight, which arrived late at night. There was no other flight with WestJet. So I had to fly Air Canada the next morning because WestJet wasn't flying until the next night at 11 o'clock. I didn't want to wait that long. So anyway, you know the risk of doing that. Now try to coordinate when you have two big sized dogs that you're trying to coordinate with as well, because they don't fly with you. They're too big to fly in the cabin. And so we hired a company. Even when we flew here, we hired that same company, and they are simply amazing. They're called Pet Lounge here in Costa Rica. They take care of all the forms for the vets for you to make sure that you have the forms. Actually, it's your duty to go get them filled out by your vet to make sure that they have all the shots and you have a certain time that where they have to be given to the dogs. It's worse coming from Canada to here. Heading back to Canada, the criteria are not as strict, or they're not asking as much. So anyway, so we're returning and we're flying with two dogs as well on a different flight. They have to fly cargo, and they have a vet that fly with them. They take such good care. They send you pictures of them. It's just amazing the service they give. Anyway, trying to coordinate that when you get to customs in Montreal, one of us has to be there. And so what will happen is I am flying one day, the dogs and my wife are flying the next day. And so all that makes for some pretty difficult coordination because one of us has to be there at customs to receive them. And if my wife's flight is delayed, then at least I will be there to pick them up. And if we're both on the same flight and our flight is delayed, there's no one to receive the dogs at the other end. So that is just one coordination. Then you have to make sure also that you go pick up your car rental. And now in Montreal, if you've been to Montreal Airport, lately, the car rentals used to be in the parking lot right across from the arrival. Well, now they're in P4 they call. So you have to take a shuttle to go get your vehicle, and then I'll have to drive back with the vehicle to park in the parking lot waiting for my wife and the dogs, right? So the coordination is just unbelievable. We sign the deeds in the morning. We leave the vehicle with them, so now we don't have a vehicle anymore, but our dogs are still at the house and we're leaving our luggage at the house. Our realtor is giving us a ride back here at the house. And at that time, we have a shuttle also that is scheduled to come and pick us up, and then the owners can move in. We arrive at a hotel near the airport in San Jose that accept dogs, and we are staying there overnight. I'm leaving the next morning at 8 o'clock. They come and pick up the dogs at noon that day while I'm flying, and my wife is still at the hotel. And then she stays another night, and so are the dogs at Pet Lounge. And then both of them, the dogs and my wife, fly the following day when I will be resting in Montreal and waiting for them, getting the rental car. And at the same time now I need to get a new phone number also for my cell phone in Canada. So I'm going to go do that in the meantime. And then we have to drive to the Airbnb where we'll be staying before taking possession of our house. So if something was to happen to delay me, or delay the dogs, or delay my wife, imagine the mess that it does just by messing up with one flight. And now we're seeing that Air Canada has canceled some flights between Toronto and New York and Montreal and New York because they're not cost effective. We are flying Air Canada, and I tell you what, they better not cancel because if they do, we're hooped. It's going to be a whole nightmare, a whole web of nightmare for us. So we keep our fingers crossed. Pray to the good guy up there to look after us and make sure that everything runs smoothly. Because, you know, then on May 15th we take possession of our new home in the Eastern Townships. So anyway, that's all I had to talk about today. Watch my other videos if you want to find out more about traveling to and from Costa Rica. And especially the last two videos have been quite popular with people. It's quite informative. And also visit my blog again, grumpa.ca, grumpa.ca, and there's a lot of good stuff to read on there. In the meantime, pura vida.